Test 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, everybody. So we're gonna start the actual live stream now. Now, I think I may have mentioned, at least on the forums, that when I'm actually recording the live streams, I'm not able to read the chat at the same time. Most people have trouble chewing gum and walking at the same time. So flying and reading your guys' messages, responding to them is really not possible for me. But we have some good moderators that are helping out, and I'm sure that they'll answer as many questions as they can. And of course, at the conclusion of the stream, you're more than welcome to put any additional questions up on our forum. So that being said, let's get started. Let's go to the editor, and I think we'll do the Huey first. Okay, so I'm going to start a Huey here at Nellis Air Force Base. Hit fly. Now, before I get started here, some of you may have noticed that while I've done a lot of videos and tutorials for many of the DCS aircraft, Huey has not been one of them, and there's a very good reason that. It's because I am literally the worst Huey pilot in DCS history. So I will apologize in advance for how bad my Huey flying is. It's really loud. Let me turn that down even more. Okay. At this point, I have the Huey volume as low as I can, and hopefully you guys can still hear me. Put my pilot on. Okay, so we're going to do a little tour of Nellis Air Force Base, and then after that we'll go to the next stream, in which we'll take a look around Las Vegas. Okay, fingers crossed. Okay, not one of my better ones, but at least I'm in one piece. So let's go ahead and go down the flight line here. And it looks like we got some flight ops going on while we're flying around here. So some aggressor Vipers. And, as we're going around Nellis here, I think I mentioned in the previous stream that while we think we've done a pretty good job recreating Nellis, it's not, 100% accurate. So, we fully expect that there's probably going to be just a few of you with way too much time in your hands who are going to try to nitpick this to death. But overall, we're pretty happy with it. And of course, we'll try to correct any egregious errors, but the minor stuff, again, it kind of comes down to an issue of priorities. And where we are now, we're pretty happy with. Get some more speed. And we'll come down to the end with the main ramp, and then we'll head over the golf course and then back up north. Okay, so head back around. And these first two streams, they're more focused on, lack of a better term, kind of tours of the area. So in the previous one, we did a lot of sightseeing of the kind of countryside, and then kind of fast fly through the different bases. This one is more kind of taking a up close and personal look of, at least Nellis and then later Las Vegas. So over here is it's called the Kala, Conventional Arming Loading Area. Actually, in previous versions, we had sunscreens, but we saw that, I guess years ago, they actually removed those, so we went ahead and removed those from the base model as well. And more accurate, but also saved us some polygons. And up here is what I guess it's termed the bomber ramp. We got a E3 up here today. Now, up here to the right is also part of the Kala, but this is only for A-10s for loading forward-firing munitions, be it the gun, Mavericks, rockets, that sort of thing. So when you fly your A-10 campaign missions, a lot of your missions will actually originate from here. Oh, come back. And the ramp up here ahead, I believe it's the Department of Energy parking ramp. And then it looks like another fighter taking off. And it'll come back around to the primary helicopter operations area of Nellis. And there off my nose are the hush houses, where they'll bring aircraft to run the engines. This is your primary helo area, and the hush house is here. And up ahead, I believe this is the primary fueling position for fuel trucks. Now to fly actually just behind the main ramp. Now also in this video, I have the terrain flat shadows turned off. Instead, what we have are the projected shadows. So with projected shadows, again, you have shadows that can lay on top of other shadows, on top of other buildings, and so on. So they look more realistic, but they take a bit more processing power. And when you're up higher, you can actually see a bit of a transition between the projected and the flat shadows, which can be a little distracting. So for me, when I'm doing helo flights, I prefer to use the non-flat shadows. It just makes the world look a little bit better. Oop, too early to hit a tree. And I think one of the things you can notice is just the huge amount of object density in these maps compared to the previous airfields in DCS World 1 and the Caucasus map. Yet, I think you'll agree that the frame rate's pretty darn good. So I'm going to head back around, and this time we'll fly over more of the residential part of the base. Get some more speed. I don't want this video to last all day. And we had a pretty fast flyby of it last week. We'll take a closer look at the solar plant up here ahead. Now, in addition to the trees in these areas, also all the telephone poles, the power lines, the light poles, and everything else are collidable. So you want to be careful about those as well. Okay, let's find a tree. Now, in all likelihood, I'll probably turn into a burning wreck, and you'll see the explosion. Now, before you all freak out, again, the explosions in the game right now are still the old explosions. Those are still being worked on. Actually, right now, I believe our effects artist is working on new cluster bomb munitions effects. Nice palm tree up ahead. Oh, nope. Oh. Okay, so as everyone sees, tree collisions do in fact work. Okay, so let's go to the next stream where we'll take a look at the Ka-50 over Las Vegas. Actually, before we do that, I'm going to go to the options and turn the volume down even more just in case you guys are having trouble hearing this. Let's go back in the editor. K50. So here we are just outside of McCarran. And this is actually your primary part of the airport that has the helipads. Okay. Fly. Okay, so actually, set this. In the Q&A, someone asked about the ABRIS maps. So let me actually bring up the map. So as you see, it's kind of like we had in the Caucasus map, where it's actually a repeat of the actual in-game asset. So we can zoom in here, have a route and everything else. Actually, I prefer the arc. . Okay. Put my pilot on. Okay, here we go. Gear up. Okay, let's get going. And I think particularly for helo flight is where this map really shines around the cities and areas like this, where you have the much higher object density and just the detail in the objects too. We're pretty proud about. And I think some interesting options for some missions like Hunt the ISIS truck in Las Vegas might be pretty entertaining as well, in addition to the more standard red flag missions up north. A lot of options for this map. Okay, let's go visit Las Vegas. If I remember right, I think the time of day in this mission is around 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Let's go around. And come back into the strip. It looks like the fountains are down for maintenance today. And later on in a stream, I'll do a night mission where you can see most of Vegas lit up and the car lights and everything else. But easier to take a look around during the daylight here. We'll head up to the stratosphere. Actually, I'm still not sure what that purple building up there is. I need to take a look at that. Now, I think up ahead here we have a spaghetti bowl of highways. Let me see if I can find that. Take it up the altitude a little bit. Yeah, there it is. Let's fly over there. I think it's up here. Yeah. Come back around and we'll go into the burbs proper. And around Vegas, you have manufacturing areas, residential areas, um, commerce areas, and so on. And now we're kind of transitioning into the more single family homes. Take it up a bit. Okay, and we'll go ahead and we'll end this stream with one more tree collision because it looks like this is one of the things you guys really wanted to see. And again, the damage to the collision is mostly based on your actual contact speed. So you can actually bump a tree and not get too much damage. But I'm going pretty fast, so I'll probably die. We'll see what happens. Ah. Ooh. Oh. Oh. And that's how bad you can get screwed up by hitting a tree. Anyhow, guys, so I hope this stream was enjoyable, informative, showing what it's like to fly a helicopter, both around one of the bases and, of course, Las Vegas itself. So, as mentioned in the Q&A, I'm probably not going to be around next weekend to do a stream. I'll certainly plan on doing one the week after that. And my current plan is to revisit the Caucasus map in DCS World 2 and actually do some combat missions using the instant action missions that you guys can then do some direct comparisons to with what you have right now. So until then, for all my American compatriots, have a wonderful 4th of July, and I'll see you guys soon. Thanks.